Right, now, even though this is the video for the Rosette Nebula, I am still in the Jellyfish Nebula, because even though I made it in the last video and found or made it to the system that I particularly wanted to see, and was rather pleased to see that I could land on a planet there, even if the whole landing procedure really fucked me off. I didn't actually see very much of the nebula itself, so I decided to take a look at another system in here, and I mean, well, it looks fucking great. But again, that is that double-edged sword. Yes, it looks fucking great. But I mean, firstly, it could, and at one time did, look better. The graphics were seriously downgraded. And for another, impressive visuals like this is not the be-all, well, it is the be-all and end-all of Elite Dangerous, but it shouldn't be. Games need more than impressive visuals, and we don't have it here. But I've, instead of say flying off straight away from Jellyfish Neutron Star, as I call it, because there's no fucking way I can remember that ridiculously long-winded actual system name. Instead I went down through the nebula to this region here, and yeah, it does look good. I think there are planets that I can land on here. There are also moons that I haven't bothered scanning. Yeah, in fact there's quite a few. But well, I'll say the whole planetary landing thing has just pissed me off with all the countless times you're doing everything right according to your own instruments, and then it doesn't let you do fuck all nothing. Right, so anyway, so that's another look at the Jellyfish Nebula. I wish there was a system that you could go to where you can see the the change, the transformation from the red in the area where I am now to the blue that's up the top. But you can't, so there you go. Anyway, my next system is, or rather my next destination, obviously it's on the way to the Rosette Nebula. I hope I got that name right. Yep. So that's where I'm heading. 986.3 light years. 36 jumps. I am getting to the stage where I'm getting bored, but I keep just thinking, well, it's going towards the Pioneer rank and it's going towards getting you further past it. Keep going.
Frameshift drive.
It was easier on the way out of here because, well, on the way, you know, from the populated zone to the Crab Nebula for two reasons. Firstly, I hadn't done a trip like this for ages, so it was semi-new. And secondly, I had the max distance going up, and although that sounds like it's fuck all nothing, it was actually doing a good job of spurring me on. The one regret I have about it is I should have carried on going for just another couple more jumps, because I wanted to reach 7,000 and instead it's at 6,947. But I mean, okay, it means that when I come to doing the trip to Sagittarius A not out, I'll probably, well, I'll have more of an incentive, because of course that max distance will go up quicker. This second star is fucking worthless, it's just a brown dwarf, isn't it? Oh, I might as well carry on. But yeah, that max distance, 6,947, will go up a little bit quicker, instead of having to wait for me to reach 7,000 again. So, anyway, so I'm now up to 3,762 systems visited, so I will be, well, I will certainly be at 3,800 by the time I get to the Rosette Nebula. That's it there. It is quite large. In fact, of all the nebula I've been to, only the well, the Barnard's Loop part of the Orion Nebula will be bigger. It'll be the second largest one. It certainly looks larger than the NGC. Than the NGC. Whatever it was, the one with all the black holes in it, the one where my patience snapped after 3 hours. I'm feeling unbelievably nauseous. I have to take these, been prescribed these fucking things, cocodamols, and I fucking hate taking them. Every time I take them, they make me feel like I'm going to seriously chunder. Oh God, I really do feel like I'm gonna puke. Poxy fucking hateful things. Anyway, so I have a mere 35 more jumps to go to get me 2/3 of the way. So I'll be back when there is something to come back to, which is probably not going to be for quite a while. Right, next update. I am now 36, I think, yeah, 36 jumps from, well, I think I will be within the Rosette sector by a fair bit at that point. That will put me right on the outskirts of the Rosette Nebula itself. From there I can then decide exactly whereabouts inside the thing I'll be going. There's no shortage of planets within it, but I haven't found the point of origin for the thing. I am now up to 3,780 systems visited, so 20 away from 3,800. That means I will have been to around about 400 systems during this trip, which ain't bad. But there was a reply left to one of my exploration videos that I uploaded yesterday. Well, yesterday at the time of recording this, and it's brought up a point that yeah, I've had in the back of my mind for quite some time. The only reason I actually started this whole trip, this fucking hyperspace in the next place. The only reason I started all of this, well, there's two. The first one is that all of my decent trade routes seem to have disappeared. I think they've disappeared because there are a lot of players now with Imperial cutters, and they are flooding the market with you know, the specific commodities, so the profit margins have absolutely plummeted. They've gone down by, well, they're now less than a third of what they were. The other reason is that the AI at the moment is so shit that it makes the game utterly unbearable within the populated zone. And there have been loads of occasions where I've been flying in me Imperial cutter, and everything there's too far away, so I'm not going to bother scanning it. And yeah, then a security ship comes along, scans me, but he doesn't slow down, makes no attempt to slow down. So he's still going at full pelt while trying to scan me, and of course because he is trying to scan me, he is always facing me, which means I cannot avoid being hit by it. Now okay, they're in a Viper, I'm in a Cutter with class 8 shields. It doesn't do a great deal to me if they hit me, because if I'm doing over 100, I get a fine. And if they hit me so hard that their ship is destroyed, I then get a bounty, and I also get the docking station trying to fucking shoot me. Now that hasn't changed, shock horror. You know, Frontier developments, just like they did when Elite Dangerous was first released. We had the release of Horizons, so much stuff fucked up, but of course they all pissed off for the Christmas and New Year break. So they left the game in a completely bullshit state. And it doesn't look like it's going to be changing anytime soon. So when I finally make my way back to the populated zone, I'm going to have to deal with that bullshit AI. And if I have a ship flying into me now, I'm in an Ash, which is obviously nowhere near as strong as a Cutter, and I've only got A3 shields on this fucking thing. And if my ship is destroyed as a result of Frontier Development's bullshit AI flying into everybody, you won't need to watch a video of
fuel scooping.
That particular incident, because it doesn't matter where in the world you are, you will hear that rant live as it happens. Oh, fuck it. I wanted to look at that. Fuck all there. Right, on to the next one. So in a way, although I am beyond bored shitless out here, to be perfectly frank, I am rather dreading going back to the populated zone. Now I can delay it somewhat, because my first destination that I'll be heading back to is 69 Gamma Carini, which is an anarchy system. So there won't be any security ships flying around the docking station. There I'll sell some of the data in order to get the Crom permit. Then I'll bugger off the Crom to see what it's all about. Make sure that my Crom permit is permanent. And then I'm buggering off to the other stations to get the other permits. I have 3 more that I'll need to get. And thankfully they are all anarchy. Even if they're not, they're all outposts. So I should be safe there. But I do also want to stop at Shinrata Desra so I can dump these A3 shields and put something stronger on there. I forgot to do the fucking scan. And if I can then put on, like, my A5s or even an A6, then great. I'll be okay.
Fuel scooping complete.
But until I've done that, fucking scanning this place. Until I've done that, I think I'm going to be fairly vulnerable to the Elite Dangerous bollocks AI. So I am sort of, in a catch-22 situation. It's going to be shitty no matter what I do. I can continue getting bored shitless out here and stay out here even longer than I planned. To be honest, I've already done that. I had no intention of checking out all of these nebulae on the way back, but I am. So I can do that, or I can just say, right, bollocks to it, I'm going straight back to the populated zone and risk having some cunting AI you know, Viper just flying straight into me and blowing me up, and this whole trip will have then been a total fucking waste of time. So either way, I really can't win. What a wonderful situation. It does rather illustrate just what a great job they've done at this fucking thing. Anyway, so I'm now 33 jumps away from the outskirts of the Rosette Nebula, so I shall be back when there is something to come back to, as always. Right, another update already. So this is the galaxy map of that system that I entered at the end of the last clip, when I was like, fucking yeah, I'm definitely scanning this place. Because one look at this system, and you would be thinking, yeah, there's got to be water worlds there, at the very least. Possibly even an Earth-like. Wrong! Every single one's high metal content, and that's it. Oh, apart from the two moons that are rocky bodies. Fuck all else. What a cunt. Oh, rocky bodies. High metal contents should still pay somewhere between 12 and 15,000, with an atmosphere that goes up to about 14 to 17,000, so not a complete waste of time. Now, since I am bored shitless, I thought I would do a bit where I answer a few questions that I get asked. I frequently get asked by people, what do you think of the ship on it? And to be honest, a lot of the time I always say the same thing, which is, it doesn't fucking matter what I think of it. If it does what you want it to do, then it's great. If it doesn't do what you want it to do, then you've obviously got to change something about it. But there is one thing that several people have contacted me about, particularly over the last couple of days, where they say, what should my next ship be? And the first thing that I say to that is, what's your current ship and loadout at the moment? And without exception, fucking hell, well, that would be worth scanning, but I'm not going 15,500 light seconds. That's too small to be bothered with. Skipping this one. But anyway, so I ask them what their current ship and current loadout is. I haven't fuel scooped yet. Fucking tight. And with two exceptions, the ship they've
fuel scooping complete.
That's alright. Alright, interruption there. I will get this fucking point made if it kills me. So anyway, with two exceptions, you people who had anacondas, all the others have had, at the very best, a Python. And then I'll say, alright, what sort of loadout has it got? And then, without exception, they have, like, you know, C and D rated stuff fitted to it. And it just, why are you going to waste credits buying a second ship when your main ship is still incomplete? Not only that, but if you have a Python or lower, and you are one of these players who wants, you know, a big powerful all-rounder, in which case the Anaconda is the ship to have, why are you looking at buying secondary ships when you haven't even got the Anaconda yet? And the Anaconda, even if you buy it from merchant bankers, owned systems is 120 million. So stop wasting your money buying totally superfluous second ships, which are only going to end up selling anyway and losing credits on, because you'll lose 10% of your purchase value when you sell it, in order to finish upgrading your main one. And some of them will say, well, you've got a load of ships. Yes, I do. I've got 4 of them. The cutter is fully upgraded. It has A-rated everything. The Further Lance is fully upgraded. That has A-rated everything. The Clipper mining ship is fully upgraded with A-rated everything. And this ship is the only one that doesn't have A-rated everything. But that's because, with it being an exploration ship, in order to maximise the range, it needs to have D-rated stuff.
Fuel scooping.
The only time it doesn't have D-rated stuff is if I can't get away with it.
Fuel scooping.
In which case, I will then put an A-rated thing on. Because the A-rated one has the same mass as the C-rated, so there's no point going with a C. On top of that, I can afford it, because I've done the grind for fuck knows how long. Yes, it's tedious, yes, it's repetitious, yes, it's fucking boring, but if you are not prepared to do the grind, you are never going to be able to afford the decent ships and the decent upgrades for it. Well, alright, you might do, but it will probably take you getting on for, like, you know, 2 years from now. So, if people don't like that response, then, well, the simple answer is don't ask me, because I will tell you straight, just like I tell everybody about how shit Frontier developments are straight. I don't give a toss if it offends anyone. So that is my number one piece of advice. Stop wasting money buying second ships when you are nowhere near the stage where one is either necessary or beneficial. There's no point to it. Just because you can have multiple ships doesn't mean you should instantly go and get them. I mean, I even made the mistake of buying extra ships far too early. I think I bought a second ship when I was in fact, yeah, I think it was when I was in a Python, and I bought a second ship which was a Cobra, and within about 2 days I was just sitting there thinking, why the fuck did I buy that, because I'm never using it. So that was a waste of 32,000, because that's how much you lose when you trade it in. Now, okay, 32,000, losing that now is fuck all. I mean, with my 4 upgraded ships, I've still got 107 million. So I'm okay for credits. Well, you can never have too many, but I'm at the point now where the only time I'm really interested in getting credits is because, well, with exploration here, for example, it counts towards your rank. The same with trade. In fact, it counts to all of them. It's such a rudimentary system, it's all about how many credits you want. So that's when credits become important, is when I'm trying to improve my ratings and what have you. But as far as being able to, you know, getting them so I can afford stuff, no, I don't give a toss about that. I mean, I do need extra credits if I want, which I do want, a second cutter, which I will use as a dedicated cargo ship, but that's about it. I mean, I was going to get an Anaconda as an exploration ship, but after this trip, the chances are I'm only going to do one more long-range exploration trip, which of course is the Sagittarius A not out, and possibly beyond. Depends on how bored I am by the time I get there. And that's it, that should get me to elite exploration. Of course, once I've reached elite in exploration, there's no fucking way I'm going to be doing any more. It's boring beyond belief. If I don't have to do any, I won't do any. And most of the places that I want to see are so far away from the populated zone that I know my interest will have just completely evaporated before I'm even halfway there. Anyway, I'm waffling away. The next thing a lot of people have asked me is where to find materials. There is a bit of a pattern to it. Unfortunately, it's not at all scientific. Again, it's very rudimentary. So, certain planets will yield certain elements. Various elements are always going to be rare no matter where you go. Apparently technetium is the rarest of the lot. Although I found technetium on Algol A4. So if you head there, well, that's where I found it. If I found it there, I'm sure anyone can find it there. Yttrium is also quite a difficult one to find. I know Life School Amiga found some within Imperial space, but I can't remember the system name. I don't think he can remember it either. I found it on Beetlejuice 2, but I'm sure you don't want to be going all the way out to Beetlejuice just to find 2 lots of yttrium. And then polonium I found on Shinrata Desra A1. Rather ironic, the most difficult, well for me, what I found was the most difficult one to find. And it was on the planet that I basically kept going to every single time in the Horizons beta. But the rest of them, well, I'll say the rest of them, it does seem to be a lot of luck involved. There's no real skill. Concentrate searching for meteorites, metallic meteorites. There's your best bet for finding the rarer stuff. When you get the various signals on the SRV, ignore the one that sounds like a Geiger counter, go for the other one that sounds like that sort of low pitched sort of whining sound. If you pick up a signal that sounds like that, then yeah, that's the one to look for. The Geiger counter sounding ones aren't all that, oh fuck it, they're not all that great. Those 3 look like they could potentially be really good, but they are 65,000 light seconds away. I can't be bothered, so if you want to find 3 first that look potentially like they could be possibly ammonia worlds, I doubt all 3 of them will be though, so that's the place to go, because I'm not going to bother with them. I think that's that will do for now. So if I think of more stuff to waffle on about, or if something interesting in the game happens, then I'll be back, well, when that is the case. Okay, I thought I pressed it. Date. I haven't exactly got very far. I'm now 29, soon to be 28 jumps from Rosette sector, bloody fucking blah. So, but now it is my turn to ask you lot a question. I'm trying to think of any time in this game when this has happened, and I just cannot think of a single occasion when it has. Have any of you found a rocky planet of any description, whether it's, you know, just a shitty icy world right the way through to an Earth-like world, that has more than one moon. I don't think I've ever found one. Now gas giants, yeah, it's fucking common as fuck. But I don't think I've ever found
Fuel scooping.
a rocky planet that does. Now it is possible. You don't have to look too far to find an example of it. Mars has, well, I'm not scanning all that lot, so here you go. You want some more decent first? There are, well, there's at least two there that are good. I'm going to just make do with this lot. Anyway, yeah, Mars has two moons. Although you wouldn't think it from this game, because in this game it apparently has none. But it has Phobos and Deimos. Now they are very small and they are irregularly shaped, which is why they don't appear in this.
Fuel scoop disengaged.
But it is a rocky planet that has two moons. So yes, it is possible. Because you could say that Earth itself has more than one moon, if you include all the Neos. But I don't. Right, well there you go. So yeah, if you've seen any rocky planets in Elite Dangerous that have two or more moons, I'd be interested to know. Especially if you can provide a screenshot of it in the yeah, if you can, yeah, just provide a screenshot of the system map showing it. Right, that's it. Back when there's something to come back to. Right, next update, and we really are into archetypal Frontier Developments territory. For the last 2 or 3 systems, scans have slowed to a crawl, so has jumping from one system to another, and the last planet I scanned, I had to do it twice. The first time I got the data corrupted, please try again message. Let's see what happens with this one. Yeah, so this again, it's taking a fucking age. So, I mean, it is 4 o'clock on a Monday. This is not a peak time, and well, the servers are clearly now going to fucking bollocks, and well, don't expect Frontier Developments to do anything about it for some time. So if, like me, you are currently doing some long distance exploration, it looks like your progress is going to be stalled somewhat, especially if the thing slows down any more and we start getting that you know, data corrupted, please try again message. So it's taken 4 days of the new year for Frontier Developments to get back into their usual swing of things, which is to just be a total fucking joke and well, create something that is an insult. This is not even close to being acceptable. It shows why every other game developer, if they make the decision to, you know, make the game entirely online, they invest in decent servers to make sure that will, you know, the game won't be affected because of you know, their servers being shit or anything. The game will run smoothly because they've invested a decent amount of money into their servers. Frontier developments don't do that. They never have. And even when they cancelled the offline mode and then swore blind that it would not impede in the game you know, performance, they still didn't improve their servers in any way, shape or form. Since then they've introduced Elite Dangerous for Xbox. They didn't improve the servers then either, despite the influx of new players that would bring about. Now we've got Horizons, which introduced more new players. They still not improved their servers. Elite Dangerous only used 2 servers for the entire game. Only 2, and of course they're not their own. They just rent them from Amazon. They have almost certainly rented the cheapest, shittiest ones they think they can get away with. And even though Frontier Developments have capital, their profits aren't fantastic, but they have capital, so they can invest in, well, actually getting their own servers, and they can invest on making sure that their own servers are a vast improvement over what we've had for the last 18 months or more. But they don't want to know. And there cannot be any other reason than that. Because if there is a reason why they are not getting their own servers, I would be very interested to hear what it is. It's not that they can't afford it. They can. Is it because they don't know how to set one up? Their track record suggests yes, that is another reason. But rather than, you know, find out how to do it, no. They'll take the we can't be bothered route, which has been the way they've gone about this game right from the start. So when you're doing long distance exploration trips, and I guess 7,000 light years would come under the category of long distance exploration, you are always taking this chance that, you know, you're having to rely on the servers working all the time, which is something they never do. At some point they will fuck up and you end up with bullshit like this. So, I mean, I'm not that far from the Rosette Nebula. I'm 13 jumps away from well, it'll be right on the very outskirts, but nevertheless I will be at the Rosette Nebula. But those 13 jumps are going to take a fucking age because of all this fucking bollocks. How many systems have I done now? 3,803. So another 197 systems to go to reach 4,000, which I'd like to do. My progress is slow anyway, because, well, firstly because I've been getting bored, so I don't have quite so many sessions playing this as I did when I was on my way to Crab Nebula. And for another, I'm finding a hell of a lot of systems with a lot of planets worth scanning, so it's taking me ages to go from one system to the next. But of course my course back to the populated zone is anything but a straight line. I'm basically zigzagging all over the place. So I started at Crab Nebula, then I went out to Monkey Head Nebula, then I've gone across to Jellyfish. Now I'm going zigzagging again to Rosette, where I'm on my way there. But from Rosette it's then a fairly short hop, almost straight on to well, straight line to the populated zone, and that will take me to the Seagull Nebula, and then again I'm still going roughly in a exact straight line to Horsehead, and when I'm at Horsehead I'm only about 1500 light years from the inhabited zone. Now there are, as you can see, a hell of a lot of extremely bright stars in quite a tight cluster here. That I wasn't expecting. There are an awful lot of systems around here. This area is quite densely populated with stars. I'll show you quickly on the map, as you can see. So yeah, I think a lot of those stars are actually before I get to the Rosette Nebula. I mean, look, you've got Class A's here, here, one fairly close there. I think that's a B or a C or an F. Another F there. So I think that's a G. Yeah, another G there. Yeah. So there's plenty of like very bright, very hot stars on the way, but I think I'm going to be flying past all of those to get to the nebula. So 13 jumps to go.
Frameshift drive charging.
Yeah, they're not, I mean, they're certainly nowhere near as bright as all the O's in that black hole farm nebula I went to, so I'm not interested in, you know, visiting all of those. Besides which, I still have bad memories about that black hole farm. Yes, it was great when I first got there, but towards the end I felt like fucking slitting my wrists. So that's the first time in about 5 jumps that the actual hyperspace jump itself didn't drag on for fucking ages. Does this mean the servers have sorted themselves out, because now things are starting to go at a regular rate again. Right, well, okay, seeing as they do look like they've sorted themselves out, though I don't know how long for, that'll do for now. I'll be back when there is something to come back to. Oh, forgot that. Right, new update. And we're getting pretty close to the Rosette Nebula. Indeed, we are now just 4 jumps away from my planned destination, which is just in front of it. After that, the next jump should take me inside it. But what I want to show is, okay, you may be thinking, that looks quite impressive. Not now, it doesn't. What the fuck is all this? All these like clearly visible lines where the texture has been completely nosed up. I believe the technical term for that is shit. Prior to the intense downgrading of the graphics, I don't think it did ever look that bad, because I am rather guessing, because I didn't come out here well, at any time until now. But that really does look like utter shite. So I haven't had to go all the way to the Horsehead Nebula to find a nebula that, well, just looks fucking bollocks. We found one here in the form of the Rosette Nebula. Obviously, well, I'm hoping that once we're inside it, it don't look that shit. But from here, that's just laughably, well, it's bollocks is what it is. So anyway, well, back where we are about to head into the bloody thing, I suppose. Right, well, here we are then, right on the outskirts. You can still see how shit it looks, all these clearly visible lines here. On top of that, this is the destination which I had programmed into the what do you call it? Into the course that I had plotted, and yet it was for some reason trying to send me here, which isn't even in the right direction. So fuck knows what the hell it was doing. Anyway, I'm now right in the middle of this huge cluster of Class A, B, blue-white stars. It also looks like I am heading right into the darker region of the nebula, which I don't really want to go to, so I'm going to change course. Let's head up here. That's 30 light years. That's going to take 2 jumps. Oh no, 30.22. It looks like it's right on my range limit. But I can do it. Okay, here we go.
Frameshift drive charging.
This won't take us into it either, but we will be, well, pretty much in touching distance of the thing.
4, 3, 2, 1, engage.
Right, let's see what's here.
Fuel scooping.
Well, 8 of them, whatever it is. And they're all quite a fair way apart. And they're all looking like they're quite valuable. Right, well, in that case, I'll scan the slot and then we'll be back to seeing what the actual nebula interior looks like. Right, well, that's this system done. Seeing as none of it's a first, I've got no problems with showing that it's reasonably valuable. There is a water world there. Everything else is high metal content. Oh no, tell a lie, ammonia world. So 2 particularly well paying ones there. Now, as you can see, I am extremely close to the nebula, not quite inside it. The next jump will take me into it, but that's how it looks here. Of course, this is where we get the usual thing where, apart from these fucking streaky lines that are still present around here, it looks, you know, impressive, and it makes people think, oh yeah, the game must be great. Look how, no, see how great it looks. But no, looks aren't everything, and the game, well, the game doesn't even have the looks half the time. Right, this jump should take us into the nebula itself. Let's see how it looks from inside.
Frameshift drive charging.
Okay. Let's see what we have here? Right, 13. Well, if I can land on one, then providing the view's alright, I might try another view from a planet. I'll tell you what, this place is certainly well worth scanning. Again, no firsts, everything's already been done. Chances are
Fuel scooping.
Yes, I am doing a vid. Chances are every system inside here is probably
Fuel scooping complete.
already scanned, so I don't think I'm going to get any first while I'm actually in the nebula. Far too close to you know, this huge bloody blue-white to be able to see anything worthwhile. Of course, that's the problem with going to a system with a blue-white star. The light from it is all over the place. I look, you know, actually, it looks like I've chosen an extremely dark region of the nebula. So, right, what I'll do, I'll scan this system, and we'll go on to another system that isn't quite, or isn't in such a dark area of the nebula, and we'll get a better look at the inside of it. Right, this planetary object that I'm approaching is utterly worthless. It's just a icy, icy world. It's a moon that's orbiting another worthless icy world. But this system that I've jumped to is pretty shite, really. It has a high metal content planet, only one, and it's 62,000 light seconds away from the entry point. So I'm not going to bother scanning it. So what I'll do is we'll land on here. I'm doing the landing with a little bit of reluctance because landings just seem to constantly fuck up all the time. And we'll just take a look around and see how the nebula looks from the surface again. What I'll probably do is stick around a bit and scan a few more systems within the nebula, because this nebula is enormous. But I won't need the video any more of that. I've shown you the Rosette Nebula. If you haven't seen it, there it is. I am now well inside it. It does look quite impressive because of all of those Class A and Class B blue whites in the region, and I'm sure it looks pretty good no matter where you are. But this planet, well, say it was the only one I could land on in the immediate or in this particular system. So, fuck it, I'm going to land here, because there's nowhere else. And yeah, once I've landed here, I'll put the video together, upload that, but I'm going to stick around here, I think, and scan a few more systems. And then we'll head off to Seagull. And the Seagull Nebula also signifies the end of my constant like zigzagging from one side to the other. I'll now actually be on a straight course back to the populated zone. Although Seagull Nebula is not the last nebula I'll be visiting, of course. I have one more to go, and that is the Horsehead Nebula. But that's very close to the populated zone anyway, so that won't be such an issue. What's the ground look like below? Well, it's not billiard table smooth, but I mean, surely I can land somewhere around here. Gravity is fine at 0.3, so let's lower away. Lower the landing gear. 3 kilometers up. It's probably a bit on the premature side, but
Landing gear deployed.
well, I'm not even mass locked by the planet yet, and I've got the fucking landing gear down. Now I am. This area does not look all that promising as far as finding a landing site goes. Well, certainly not where I am at the moment. If I move this way, that might be better. Emphasis on might. Right, now according to that, this is fine, because whether or not it stays that way is another matter. Very nearly proved to be another bullshit one. Anyway, let's go and take a look. Well, the initial scans aren't very promising. It looks like there's fuck all around here. And the contrast of the white surface, which is the reason why I chose this area, and the colour of the nebula, you know, all around us, does look quite good. But as I keep saying, it needs more than just impressive scenery. And it doesn't have that. Anyway, got some meteorite signals up ahead. I think it's just the one. You don't normally find meteorites singular. There's usually like 2 or 3 of them in a sort of small area. So we'll see what there is. If there is any polonium, great. I'm not exactly holding my breath. Looks like there may only be the one. And I cannot believe it if I'm reading this right. It looks like there is a signal type that's indicating a like cargo canisters or what have you in the area. Antimony, phosphorus, nickel, antimony. I don't have much antimony, I think I've got maybe 9 of them. Yeah, 9. What's it used for? Small caliber and large caliber munitions. So it's utterly pointless for me to get any of it. Hang on, phosphorus, although it's extremely common, I think I could do with some. Yeah, I have 10. Alright, let's chuck out another couple of carbon, because oh no, let's just chuck out 1. Because I don't use that at all. Pick up phosphorus, that means I can now do another refueling. Now there is definitely in the distance somewhere something that indicates, well, finding ships or finding, you know, a crashed ship, yes, okay, I can understand that, but if there are skimmers guarding it, which is possible, I'm not saying it definitely will be, but you can clearly see there is something, either canisters or whatever. Okay, that rock doesn't look right. Well, anyway, so if there is something out here and it's something other than cargo canisters, or if it is a cargo canister, there's no point in me getting it because I can't transfer it to the ship. And although I can just keep it in my SRV here. In fact, as I'm saying that, yeah, I can keep it in the SRV. And then the SRV acts like a TARDIS because the mass of the cargo that I would be carrying will make no difference to the mass of my ship, and therefore make no difference to my hyperspace range. Let's see what it is first. It looks like my ship has buggered off, so I'm going to have to recall it before I can get off here. It looks quite small, this thing, whatever it is. There it is. So it's a crashed ship of some kind. It's an occupied escape pod. Okay, I'll take you. Okay, no I won't, because it's not going to... I can't get past that thing. Right, occupied escape pod, and it's a legal salvage one, so... We'll have my my TARDIS, as this has now become, because that's additional mass in my SRV, but it will not register as additional mass on my ship's stats. So anyway, there is the Rosette Nebula as seen from the surface of a planet that lies within it. I think that will do for now. So that's the Rosette Nebula done with. Next stop is the Seagull Nebula, and that means that I am finally on a much more direct line back to populated space, which is something that I am, well, I'm doing almost with a degree of reluctance, even though I am bored shitless out here. Just can't fucking win with this fucking game, can you? Anyway, that's all for this one. That is all for the Rosette Nebula, so go away. Ah, they have been a bit devious. You cannot board your ship if you have cargo in your SRV, and I do not have any cargo capacity on my ship, so I'm afraid that whoever is in that escape pod who thought he had been rescued has just well, discovered that his rescuer is now leaving him behind. There you go. So yeah, obviously the SRV does not act like a TARDIS, and you well, can't keep stuff in there when you are boarding your vessel. Oh dear, what a shame. Anyway, since I am now doing this bit after finding that out and deciding to share it with you, let's now take a look at where we are heading to next, which is Seagull. which is a fair old way away. Seagull Nebula is just over 2,000 away. The Seagull Nebula is another one that is extremely dense. And that blue-white in the middle of it all could be, well, it wouldn't make a lot of sense of blue-white being the point of origin of the nebula, but well, it's positioned in such a place as to suggest it is. Anyway, I've got quite a long way to go before I get to that fucking place, so yeah.
Frameshift drive charging.
Anyway, that definitely is it for Rosette Nebula. So this now is Commander because absolutely saying go away.